I'm Executive Director Kevin Robertson, and this is a KDA Video Minute for Monday, February 4th.
February is National Children's Dental Health Month. The Kansas Dental Association reminds parents that their children can avoid cavities. A balanced diet, limiting snacks, brushing and flossing each day, and regular dental checkups are the keys to a lifetime of healthy teeth and gums.
Well, this past week in the legislature, we did see the introduction of House Bill 2157. That's the Registered Dental Practitioner Mid-Level Bill. Was introduced Tuesday by the House Health Committee, and then was read in by the full House the next day, and so now the bill is in bill format. So it is available to look at. Looks very similar to what we've seen the last couple of years. A registered dental practitioner with another year and a half of education, then with a 500-hour training program, and then being able to work off-site with a sponsoring dentist. So that's what we've got, what we're looking at, and at this time there are no hearings scheduled, but that could change at any time. The legislature is pretty fluid. They do try to make their hearing dates set a week out in advance, but that is not always the case. So we're going to be monitoring that very closely to see what happens with that bill and a hearing. This past Tuesday, we did have sort of a mini hearing on the dental mid-level issue. Really, it was a discussion of dental issues and the Kansas Dental Association. I testified on several dental issues, including the KIND program, where we are with dental school, the number of seats we have, where we are with regard to some studies that have come out through the Bureau of Oral Health and what have you. Then the other person that testified was the representative from the Kansas Action for Children, who supports the registered dental practitioner and has received the Kellogg money in order to push for that. So that became more of a mid-level discussion with questions and answers, but I thought that went pretty well for us, and we'll just have to keep working on that and get our message across that, first of all, the ECP3 Advanced Dental Hygienist legislation was passed last year. The training program has just now been approved, so we don't have any history to show on that to see if that can work, first of all. And secondly, the idea that we need more dentists in certain areas of our state, and our KIND program, and perhaps some new seats at UMKC or another dental school could help to improve the number of dentists that are located out in some of those rural areas. Again, a final reminder that Dental Day 2013 will be this Thursday, February 7th, and we really would like you to come out, be part of Dental Day. We do have a nice group of registrations coming in right now that have come in the last couple of weeks. Please be there. We'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll have some information before we go talk to legislators. We're going to have that press conference to talk about the first awardees of our KIND scholarship. So they won't be there. The recipients of that scholarship won't be at the press conference at 10 o'clock because they have classes, but they'll be at noon at the noon luncheon with legislators. So we hope to have a nice turnout and be able to really honor them and celebrate that first KIND scholarships that we think is going to make a big difference for certain areas of western Kansas. Now we do know, and we've talked about this before, that the Kansas Dental Hygienists Association is having their legislative day activities on the Wednesday before ours, and so if we need an incentive to have more people show up and talk on February 7th, I guess that certainly can be hit. So we have a registered dental practitioner bill, again, House Bill 2157. The hygienists are going to be there the day before, and we need to be there in full support and talk about the concerns and issues and really discuss what the Kansas Dental Association is doing to improve the access to oral health throughout the state. There's been a lot of discussion of CanCare. We are now completed a full month of the new CanCare Medicaid program. The number of dentists has been slowly, actually pretty rapidly increasing over this past month. You know, there were a lot of dentists, perhaps you were waiting to find out what the policy manual, the provider manual is going to look like before you decided to sign up. That didn't come out till late November. That came out, so we got a lot of late push for the number of dentists that were signing up. our numbers right now, depending on whether or not you're looking at the Scion networks or the DentaQuest networks, are up over 350, which that puts us right about where we were with participating providers prior to the change. So we're right about in that same spot. If you look at the coverage around the state, it's anywhere from about 90% to 97%, depending on what area of the state, particularly those rural areas. Where we are with the coverage, if you use a 30-mile radius, which is what the state's using. So we do have some nice increase in the number of providers. We also know that, of course, there were some glitches this last month. I know there's some fluoride codes weren't properly reimbursed. The state's been working on some of those things. So I think the further we get along in the program, the more these glitches will work themselves out. And we certainly want to encourage each and every one of you to at least consider being a CanCare provider. You look to see what it takes to sign up and be part of that program so that we can help deliver good oral health to the 300 or so thousand Kansans that are on Medicaid. You know, we're exactly a month out from our 10th anniversary of the Kansas Mission of Mercy. We'll be in Wichita March 1st and 2nd at the old Kansas Coliseum Pavilion 2 building. The registration's been open now for a couple weeks, so we've got a little over 900 total registrations that have been received. Now, with all those registrations, sometimes, you know, we have some issues with the hotel book, the headquarter hotel, you know, it gets filled up, or maybe some of the other hotels. If you run into problems with the registrations and a hotel block that's full, please go on the KDA website or the KS Dental Foundation website and take a look to see what other hotels are available. We do have several hotels that we have blocks with, and so please review those, and I'm sure we'll have someone that can meet your needs. If those are all full, certainly call the KDA office and we can see what we can do for you. But don't forget to check out our website first to see what the options might be. Finally, as we get through into the next month, it's time to start thinking about April 11th through the 13th. That is, first of all, it's the UMKC Midwest Dental Conference. But as you all know, we're going to cozy up this year, have our governance with UMKC as we then look forward to July and our Chicago getaway, July 11th through the 14th. So coming up here in at Kansas City in April, we'll be having on Thursday the 11th, we'll be having councils and committees. So be aware that if you're on a council or committee, there could be one scheduled during the course of that day. On Friday, we'll have the Real World Transition Brunch. That's Friday, April 12th. And then we'll have our traditional Board of Delegates meeting over the noon hour from about 12 to 2. Now then that evening on Friday, we'll have our President's Dinner. We'll award the Dentist of the Year and our Harry M. Klenda Committee Member Award. And then on Saturday at noon, we'll have our annual meeting, our General Assembly. That'll be from 12 to 2. And then immediately after, we'll have kind of that wrap-up Board of Delegates meeting that we normally have that usually just takes about 20 minutes, half hour to get a little bit of business done. So again, make sure that all those things are on your schedule as you're getting information for UMKC. Also consider attending those KDA activities and be looking for those as well. Thank you. Have a good week. And if there's anything new that comes up with mid-levels or any other legislative activities, we'll be sure to let you know with special alerts.